My names are Agnes Gwela Adhiambo. I'm a biomedical researcher, specifically a postdoctoral research fellow here at KEMRI Wellcome Trust in Kilifi. I'm the second born in a family of 7. I grew up in a small township of Maseno. I was more inquisitive. I would much rather have gone to the field to collect frogs and, crabs and dissect them. I know that sounds weird. I went to just the local primary school, Maseno Mixed Primary School. And then at about 1994, in class 4, I transitioned in 1995 to a boarding school, near girls boarding primary school, which is in Siaya County. And that is where I did my KCP exams. 1999, I joined Alliance Girls High School in Kikuyu, and then completed secondary school in 2002. From there, I joined University of Nairobi in 2004 to 2007 to pursue my bachelor's degree in medical biochemistry. Graduated in 2007 with a first-class honors. I took up an internship position at the KEMRI Wellcome Trust research program in Kilifi, where I started my classical training in scientific research, where my interest in immunology grew. I got to practically see female mentors, which was encouraging because then you know that, there's already somebody in that field who has made it. And so you then believe that you also can make it. And I was able to then develop a deeper interest in immunology, which is the study of the immune system. And then afterwards, I proceeded to do my Doctor of Philosophy in Immunology and Translational Medicine at the University of Oxford. And after 4 years, I graduated and then landed back at KEMRI to pursue a postdoctoral fellowship. And that's where I've been until now. So at the moment, the focus of my work is a project looking at the immunological mechanisms that can predispose young children to severe infections. I'm working as part of an international network, collaborative network. The acronym is CHAIN, but it stands for Childhood Acute Infection and Nutrition Network. It encompasses experts across Africa, Asia, and the Americas. And basically, it was coined to try and understand the drivers of vulnerability in young children. So across the board, mortality or death in young children continues to be a big global problem. And there are several, past research has identified several things or problems that can cause children to have a high, increased odds of dying, basically before the age of 5. Okay, and so you see that is, children are, the keys to the future, so we need to preserve their lives, okay? So what CHAIN tries to do is we recruited a number of children across Africa and Asia. And at the moment, we collected samples from them, trying to understand what drives these children to get sick and to die. So I think for any research scientist, you always start with a question. The satisfaction for you or how you measure your success is your ability to answer a question, and it's never that you are necessarily looking for a positive answer. That's not scientific discourse. The nature of scientific discourse is to ask a question or formulate a hypothesis, then go ahead through a set of systematic processes to prove or disprove your hypothesis. So at the end of every question or every hypothesis, we consider our work done. And that will usually result in a publication. The COVID-19 virus, for me, just another virus. There is no need to panic. I think we often need to get informed using verifiable information rather than sort of hysteria or emotionally driven propaganda that we collect along the way. being a scientist and having the knowledge, being empowered from that point, we didn't go like, oh my God, a pandemic, what's going to happen? No, because we kind of understand this is our field of study. So I don't want to say are used to it, but we are familiar with, pathogens that can cause pandemics. Just generally in the field, I have several people who have mentored me very well. My supervisors at Oxford, my supervisors here. Actually, one of them is still here, Dr. Eunice Nduati, Dr. Britta Aban, Professor Fiona Powry back in Oxford. If our government can increase its funding in science and tech, like give a substantial chunk of the national budget to science and technology to actually promote entrance level and then retention, where you can either keep ladies in science or they can leave. Because if you apply for funding 3-4 times and you don't get, you might get discouraged and be like, you know what, I'm gonna go do something else. And we don't want you to go do something else. In fact, I applaud the CBC curriculum in that aspect, in that regard, that it's actually now leaning more towards practical, hands-on deliverables. In the words of the Oscar award-winning actress Lupita Nyong'o, your dreams are valid. Do not let anyone or society or prevailing culture dictate to you what you can and you cannot do. And I would also appeal to mentors, parents. When you have kids, everyone is born with a talent. Nurture your children's talent, because that nurturing actually starts when they are very young. If you don't water a garden, it will die. If you don't remove the weeds, they will choke the plant. So be very careful to identify what your dream is, where it stands, and how it needs to be watered, and which weeds need to be kept out of it. Even especially of girls in marginalized communities. Once they realize that something is not a problem, actually it is a reward, there's great rewards to be reaped from it, then they are less likely to be in opposition. It is nice for these young people to actually see that you're a young person, you've achieved in your field, and you are here actually helping them climb the same steps and get to where they want to get to.